なんだ、俺より強くないじゃないか。がっかりだよ。さあ、食事を取りながらで構わない。
Go Go Loser Rangers is a very interesting anime. It was suggested to me by a friend, and honestly, I took a good look at it and I said, this shit, it's pretty fire. Now, first off, I want to talk about things I do not like about the anime, and it is pretty much nothing. I think this anime is pretty good. I don't dislike anything about it, and I'm going to talk about the things I do like now. Let's see. The Red Ranger is fucking amazing. I love the Red Ranger. And keep in mind, I'm only up to episode 5, I think. I wanted to watch it in dub. I'm probably going to start watching it in sub until the dub comes out. But yeah, when making this review, I'm only on episode 5 so far. Now, like I said, the Red Ranger, fucking love this dude, okay? He is a psychotic piece of shit. And honestly, he is super funny, actually. I think he's pretty hilarious on the way he does things. Like, spoilers, by the way, for the anime. Please go watch the anime before you watch this video. I should have said that at the beginning. But yeah, Red Ranger. So there's this point in the anime where Fighter D, if you know him, Fighter D steals one of the Red Ranger's main weapons, and they're on the rooftop, and the Red Ranger is like, hey, give it back, you know, how's this gonna end? And Fighter D is like, no, how about you fight me? And Red Ranger's like, why would I fight you if there's no cameras around, right? He's pretty much a better version of Homelander. I will say, I've been getting like very sick of the whole oh, they're superheroes, but they're the bad versions of them, right? It's been getting pretty annoying lately since a lot of shows have been doing that. But this show does it pretty well by making these guys pretty believably evil. You know, if like you know the whole trope of if a normal person had superpowers, you know, that's how they'd act. But I'm like, well, most people wouldn't act like this without like a good reason to act like this. And honestly, the reason why they act like this is pretty reasonable once you hear the backstory. So the whole backstory of the anime is 13 years ago, a bunch of aliens went to Earth and started killing people. So then the Power Rangers, I don't know what they're officially called in this show. I think it's like Dragon Rangers or something. So the Dragon Rangers show up, right? And they pretty much defeat them pretty easily. It takes them literally just a year to beat all the main like big bosses and shit. So by the end of that year, they find all of the like grunts, you know, the brutes, the baddies, you know, your average NPCs, and they're like, hold on, listen, let's do a deal here. You can join us, you know, put on a show every Sunday, make it interesting, you know, for us. We'll kill you, but we won't actually kill you for real, because these grunts are immortal. But they're not technically immortal, because there is one way to kill them, and that's with you know how in Power Rangers they have that like big weapon that all the Rangers use and they blast them and stuff at the end of the fight. Yeah, that's what they have, and those kill the grunts for good. And they're like, listen, we won't use these on you if you give us a good show every Sunday. And that's what they've pretty much been doing for the next 12 years. And there's one fighter called Fighter D. He's pretty much over it. He wants things to be different. He wants, you know, he wants the everything to be good for them. He wants world domination. He wants freedom from the Rangers. So what he does is he pretty much bails on the whole operation. And he goes and he tries to take down the Rangers from the inside. Now, the Red Ranger is a piece of shit. But it's really believable because you have to remember, these guys did kill people, right? There's a whole backstory with one of the recruits where pretty much his entire family got killed. His sister got paralyzed, you know? And once you hear this, it's like, oh, so it's not like they don't technically deserve this. They did kill a bunch of people, but it's still kind of fucked up how you're only like beating their ass. Because remember, they still feel pain, but you're beating your ass every other Sunday. It would get annoying after a while. But these guys are assholes, but it's kind of reasonably, like, I'm not real with you, if I was Red Ranger, I'd probably be a dickhead too. But anywho, yeah, so Fighter D wants to just, you know, be done with it. So he eventually finds somebody in the Yellows battalion. See, these guys aren't the same dudes every single time. There's kind of a hierarchy within the Power Rangers. They have their own like army. Each ranger has their own colored army. So when that ranger is either retired or gets killed or whatever, they can switch out, right? Now, there's one for every color, and then there's a unchosen color, like a white. So pretty much they're neutral. They didn't pick a ranger yet because they have to be chosen, right? So there's this one dude who isn't chosen, who happens to be the brother of the pink ranger, right? And then there is this one yellow girl who pretty much hates like main characters, and she wants to root with the bad guys. So she helps Fighter D try and get one of the Red Ranger's main main weapons. So he sneaks into the tower, he steals the weapon, and he almost successfully gets away until Red Ranger sees him. And, you know, like I said, he says, well, I can't, why should I fight you if, you know, no one's gonna be watching? This won't really do anything for me. So he literally waits until a camera crew shows up. And even then, he doesn't fight him on his own. He fakes an injury so the other Rangers would show up, right? And once the other Rangers show up, they're like, hey, Red, what are you doing? Take out this guy. He's like, no. I already used my main ability in public. So why don't we just, like, you do somebody else's? Blue, how about you? Right? So Blue's like, I bet. And, you know, before they killed him, like the Green Ranger, who, again, so far, seeing him, he's pretty much like the only normal person so far in like episode 5. And then again, I haven't seen anything fucked up yet, so, but like, as far as I can tell, the Green Ranger's kind of chill. He's like, hey, why don't we just like give him a deal or something, you know, he got this far. And the Ranger's like, okay, yeah, surrender or die. And like the Fighter D's like, I don't know. He's like, listen, we'll guarantee your safety. And Friday's like, yeah, that's not gonna work. So then, I literally started like busted out laughing. Second Fire D declined his offer. The dude was like, yeah, no, kill him. And then, so the Fighter D uses dynamite to fake his death. And then when the Red Ranger goes to pick up his weapon, it disappears as he realized the weapon was Fighter D's arm. And the Red Ranger's like, oh shit, oh fuck. And then they all have a meeting about it. And the Red Ranger, straight out the bat, he's like, okay, I'll be real with you. I hooked up. I goofed up. That's on me. And then apparently, so his second in command, let's say that, he goes up to him and he's like, hey, so like, you're the Red Ranger. You're the leader, and you lost your weapon. I think you should, like, you know, resign. And the Red Ranger's like, huh? He's like, yeah, since I'm good enough, I'll be better than you, since I wouldn't have lost the weapon. And the Red Ranger's like, okay, fair. But, you know, the Red Ranger should be strong, right? If you want to be better than me. So what he does is he beats the fuck out of him. Like, the actual bricks off this dude. Kills him in front of everybody. Sits back down and says, okay, guys, let's eat. And, like, it is, like, the funniest shit. And like I said, he's, like, a better Homelander. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because at least Homelander, it's like, it's just, he's evil for the sake of being evil. This guy is just a dickhead, right? He's willing to listen to his teammates. He is willing to listen to he completely was like willing to let the Fighter D live because Green Ranger suggested it, right? But of course Fighter D declined it, so he's like, okay, hold on. He was completely willing to let all of his other teammates get the spotlight. He's actually willing to give up his spotlight for other teammates. So it would be interesting for the audience. He considers what the other Rangers say. You know, he's a good leader. It's just he's also a dickhead, and that's what I like about him. And then we have to get the Ranger Pink. So she's a fucking weirdo. She's super weird. So you know that unnameless guy I was talking about that was her brother. So eventually, after the yellow girl teams up with Fighter D, right, he overhears the conversation. He wants to team up with Fighter D. So what he has Fighter D do is take his place. And Fighter D goes into his apartment. He finds out that he was already holding another fighter in his apartment, right? So now there's two fighters that are going against everybody, right? But then the Pink Ranger, who again paralyzed, don't know how you become a ranger, but her armor or whatever lets her stand up, right? So after this, it is like the weirdest shit. So the second she starts like suspecting that her brother might be a little off, like Fighter D like gets this like good speech going about how he wants to keep fighting and all that. And then quite after this, she goes out, beats a bunch of perverts' asses, and standing on their bodies, she's over here fucking yearning for her little brother. It is the weirdest fucking shit. And keep in mind, like, they both went for that bullshit backstory, like that bullshit. It was like really fucked up backstory. Their parents were pretty much like praising the invaders as gods, and one day the invaders came down and they straight up killed everybody. And you know, it was just so weird. And Blue, I'm only on episode 5, but I can tell Blue is fucked up somehow because he has this weird relationship with like his co-captain, like, so far, and it's honestly a little weird. Yellow seems a little fucked up. I don't know. Green seems like he's the chillest one so far of the show. But yeah, I like all the characters. I think they're all good, and I think honestly, you guys should watch the show. So this is my review of Go Go Loser Rangers, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.